Hi everybody, it's Gail from Gail's Bookish Things. I have a evening with an hour here free to do a video. So I am going to take this opportunity to catch you up on some of what's going on in my journaling world. I'm going to start out with currently inked. So this I promise will not be long because it's actually kind of funny. So this pen has Noodler's golden brown in it. It's a broad nib Conklin, and this style is the All-American. And this one is the Conklin All-American. I've talked about this, but I bought this with the idea of inking it up and using it to keep fresh in my mind and my prayers my 3 military sons. One is headed off this Sunday and he'll be sworn in Monday and leaving. So I really want to, I'm not going to forget about these guys, but I figured having a pen in hand, using it on a daily basis will just keep them right there fresh in my mind. So this pen, and this pen are all inked with Noodler's 54th Massachusetts. I thought I would revisit an ink that I haven't used lately, and I also wanted to use something that was a patriotic color, and I wanted to do a comparison of nib sizes. So this is broad, this is medium, and this is fine. This was a gift from my friend Myra. I think it's a Jinhao 992, but I'm not positive on the number. So because the Noodler's 54th is such a flowy ink, I find I almost don't like how it writes in this. I've been writing in it just a little bit since last night. This is August 1st, so I wanted to start the month off with these new combinations. I don't know how long I'll be able to keep this in here. It feels wonderful to write with it, but it does seem to really spread on the paper. But it goes down on paper when you first write, this lighter blue that's in here, and then it dries to a more grayed blue, and it's very matte. There's not a lot of dimension to it, but I do like the writing experience. I just am not loving how it looks once it's dried. And pardon my throat, it's the forever tale of my life to have a frog in my throat, something going on. I will try to keep that at a minimum. And then, a medium nib. I thought, okay, this wet ink in this Pilot medium nib would be less of a broad line. I do like a broad line, but to reiterate, this is making such a broad line, it just doesn't look crisp or distinct, and I'm not just finding I'm enjoying what it looks like on paper. I thought this might do a little bit better. It feels wonderful. It feels so good to write with this pen and ink combination, but it's almost as broad as this, which I think is super funny. I would not have expected that. And even the fine nib is not as fine as it might be with a different ink. Maybe I will do a summary of the 54th in time. I don't know, but that will go in my ink log. This is pretty new. So far, it's working quite well. I really like this paper for fountain pen ink. Then I wanted to just show you a brief setup of my current everyday notebooks. I have others that I use for my Bible study and things like that, church notes. This is my everyday carry, which is funny because I don't carry them anywhere but from one room to another. But if I were to go out and about with them, they would be an everyday carry. They're definitely an EDU, an everyday use. So this is my Traveler's Olive. I did condition it to try to get rid of the fuzzy feel. It was slightly suede-y, not as much as the camel I got a few years ago, but I did use this otter wax leather salve, and it helped a lot. But the part about that I don't like is this is deeper in color now, and it's more of a brownie olive than a green one. Oh, I wanted to show you my little charms all together. You've seen these, but this is the one I bought at the pen show. I had it on another TN, and I decided I would prefer it with the other silver-toned, pewter-looking ones. And this is sort of my assistant notebook. You know, my notebooks change use, but it has been my assistant for a while. So whereas I write in this every day, this is usually nearby, and it holds my release sticker book. So I have things handy to put in my journals. I have a little ink log going here where I primarily just test and ink. Here in July I had currently inked, but I don't keep up with it real well here, but I do try to write down when I make a switch. And just to have that to help my memory. So if I'm thinking, what ink is this? I'm like, oh yeah, it's in my book. And then here, this is a miscellaneous notebook where I keep track of correspondence, people I received something from and who I need to return a letter or something to. Got a couple journaling supplies, stickers, and things like that in this flap and zipper pocket. This is from my friend Donna. I think that little birdie's so cute. And I just clipped this on. I'm always losing track of blotting paper. You're probably, if I do it, you probably do it too. So I'm trying to always have one handy so it's there when I need it. These always manage to get turned around, but when it's working right, it's flipped the other way. Just have to hold them in place. So that's that. And then this has a funny story. This is my Galen brown leather in the A5 slim or large size. I had a sticker on here, and I thought it was going to peel off. It was vinyl, and I kind of liked it for a while, and then I got tired of it, and I didn't really want a sticker permanently affixed to my notebook. Like a patch would be different, or something that's just not a sticker. I don't know, something about having a sticker always there. I decided I didn't like, and when I tried to take it off, it wouldn't come off, and I really messed up the leather underneath this trying to get that sticker off, and then I tried to kind of sand it to get the residue and blah blah blah. It's quite unattractive. I had thought, well, I could just turn it over and have that marred spot on the back, but I know it's there, so I just couldn't settle with that. So I decided to put this pocket on. This is from a packet of scrap leather that I bought at Hobby Lobby, and I've really gotten a lot of use out of it. But there was this nice piece that fit just right as long as I did this, because it was cut kind of funny. So I just used tape runner. I trimmed this down so it fit on here, and I just kind of, it's not totally even, but I did try to smooth out that line. And I know that I can't stitch through this. I've tried it before, and it really made a mess of a notebook. So I actually just took a white Jelly Roll pen and wrote these little dashes to make it look like it's stitched on. These two leathers I don't really think go supremely well together, but because this elastic is kind of a tone that goes with both of these, I kind of felt like it worked okay. Sorry. And if I put something in the pocket, that will distract, and I didn't really want to go out and buy anything else, and I didn't want to totally alter the look of this leather. I do like it, but I really didn't like that rough, raw spot. So this was my solution. I don't know if the tape runner will hold long term. I figured I would use a stronger glue after I give this some time to see if it settles well with me. So inside, I put one of these adhesive pockets. Usually I trim them and I tuck in a notebook and kind of use it folio style, but this time I just kept it intact. And I keep this handy. I like to do stencil and dates generally most of the time, and then I attach this little dragonfly from I think it was from a Tim Holtz kit. This notebook was from my friend Kim, and it's just like my everyday journaling notebook, trying to be a little more creative just recently and not so much just all about recording memories, because actually it would be super boring for somebody to read this in the future. I've said this before, I'll say it again, but I tell my kids when I die, you can have like a great burning of the journals bonfire and just throw all this stuff on a bonfire and have fun watching it burn, because I think a lot of what I write about is just because I like to write and I like to think about the day. But for them to go back, it might be like, oh my gosh, this woman needed a life. And then I had a little adventure. Well, very little. I took this Stalogy that was also A5 and had it cut down. I did have it in here, like I was describing I might do in the front pocket. This was already cut, and I did have that slipped in there, but the weight of this notebook made this little corner pocket come loose. So I did a little cardboard protector for the elastics. Typically what happens when I have a big or heavier notebook like this strung through, it'll start to tear the spine. I can add some duct tape or packaging tape, but I still feel like it's going to rip because it seems like that's what's happened before. So I'm hoping cardboard with the elastic set in there will protect the spine of my book, and if it doesn't, I will just have to periodically tape it up. What I'm wanting to do in this notebook, as soon as I'm done with this Tomoe River paper one, which has been super nice. I think it's the original Tomoe River because it writes and it's like crinkly. And I don't know, it's been really nice. But anyway, when that one's done, I'm going to move into this one. And I'm wanting to do a lot more creative entries. I still want to record what happens in a day, and I'm giving myself, of course, it's my journal, but permission to write as much or as little. So if it's a day where I really didn't do anything and I really don't have much to say, maybe it'll be a day to just be more artsy, be more creative, and just kind of have fun with the book. But when I did this book a few years ago, April 2020, 19 to 20, this notebook, the moleskin, was really almost like a scrapbook. But as you can see, I drew in it. This is before I was into fountain pens very much. So it had a scrapbooky feel to it. It was sort of like an anything goes book. I want to return to that a little bit more in this. So I'm kind of combining this idea but also memory keeping. And that's why I wanted to select a chunkier book, because I really liked how this chunked up. It became very substantial and something very appealing about that to me. So that's going to be my frame of mind going into this book. I thought I would share with you my flip through of this craft grid book from Paper Penguin Co. I wanted to just kind of have some fun with a different kind of paper, and I decided to use this in sort of a scrapbooky way. And it took me about 3 months to fill it up. So I just put all kinds of things, different things people give me. I won't spend too much time on explaining. I'll just kind of page through this. And you could see if this is something you might like. What I'll do is put stamps on, different embellishments from letters. This is a package of seeds my friend Donna sent me, so I put the wrapper there. A lot of food labels. I'm always fascinated with stickers. It doesn't matter if it's from a hydration drink or if it's from bananas. I just think stickers are fun. It's just from a magazine. Packaging from a pen. I just thought that reinforced tape was super cool from Birmingham. Van Ness. Different labels. Don't like to show. This is from the Pen Show. And so I put on 2 corners of an envelope here, and here's a lot of the business cards I picked up. Little stamp, wax stamp there. More food, postcard from my friend Kathy at Scribe Samples. And underneath that is some more doodads. This is from a friend who lives in Asia, and she sent me this postcard in an envelope. It's kind of like photocopied. More from an envelope from my daughter. Wrote down, or not wrote down, but I took the labels off of new ink that I bought. And a honey jar. Little note from our granddaughter. This was kind of the last major spread, which kind of took on more of a collage-y form. What I usually do in my collage book, where these are just kind of almost just scraps from a day kind of thing. This is more formulated, but I do kind of like how it turned out. Had fun using all those different elements. And then these last 2 pages are just from a used up ink swatch book, and I just couldn't throw them away because they're from the New York Pen Show when I was there. I think it was 2022, I think. Donna at South Shore Paper, tell me. Was it 22 or was it 23? Anyway, we got to swatch Robert Oster paints there, and then when I was at Donna's, I was able to sit at the wonderful desk and play with her pens and inks. And so this is from that moment, and I just couldn't throw them away because there was some fun time and good laughs, and I got to mess up her desk for her. So that's it. That is what's going on. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.